Welcome to That's Camellia podcast. Hey, we're going to unpack some of those questions that you have. We're going to interview some guests and let's have a conversation. Come on, enjoy the show. All right. So, welcome back to That's Camellia podcast. So, the month of May is not only my birthday month and Mother's Day, but it is also Mental Health Month. So, it's a month where we actually are intentional about our mental health, what it means to us. What does that word even, what do those words even mean to us, a mental health? So, mental health, there's a lot of different, mental health deals with or encompasses our childhood experiences, how we grew up, our social environment, achievements, our failures, any of our relationships. All of those things are, to me, are pulled in when we talk about our mental health and could impact our mental health. And with impacting our mental health, it could impact our self-worth and how we think about ourselves. So I want to introduce something that I use with my clients. It's called the Grow Model, where whatever season in life that you're in right now, think about your goals for this season, because seasons change, right? Just like our seasons in fall, winter, spring, winter, they change. And so it is within our lives. It changes. So think about your goals and really be intentional about the reality of where you are. Be real. Take the mask off. This is you. Be real with yourself. What is your reality currently? Not what you want it to be, but what is it right now? Where are you sitting right now? What are you doing right now? So, your goals, your reality, what are some options? So, write these down. This is something I want you to write down. What are your options within the reality that you just wrote down? What are your realities? What are those options? Think of, one or two or three options for those realities that you just listed. And then the way forward. What action steps do you need in order to pull yourself out of the current reality, the current season, but take you and propel you into the next season while improving your self-worth? How does it improve your self-worth? Because small actions, consistent small actions have great rewards. It's consistent. You just consistently keep on doing it. Consistently, you keep on going. You get closer and closer and closer as you continue to do these small steps that get you closer to your goal. And that's what I use with my clients, the Grow Model. So when we apply it to our mental health for this month, and not only for the month, but throughout life, right? Throughout life, we'll have these different seasons that we'll go to. But as you go through the seasons, think about your reality. So accept the things that you cannot change and be okay with it, because there's a lot of things that we just cannot control. Weather, things that happen, policies and procedures, some things you just can't control. So be willing, be okay with it. If you can change it, change it. Definitely pray about it. But the things that you can't control and the things that are about you, there's just some things that are about you and your personality and your body that you cannot change. There's a lot of things we can change. Not saying we'll leave that right there, but acceptance, accept who you are and love who you are. That is part of your self-worth. And tell yourself, because it all starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. Everything in our life starts with that initial thought. And if we act quickly on that initial thought, there's a lot of rewards and blessings that we might be missing out on. I tell people often, Do it quickly before you talk yourself out of it, especially the good ideas. How we talk about ourselves. So reduce the negative chatter about ourselves. There's enough negativity out in the world without us being negative toward ourselves and our mind. And if we constantly entertain those negative thoughts that we think about ourselves, we will bring ourselves down to such a dark place. So think positive things. Within that reality I told you to list, if you don't like the weight that you're carrying right now, do something about it. Start walking, do an exercise that you love to do. Because if you do something that you don't like to do, what are the odds that you won't finish it? You won't. But if you do something that you enjoy, the odds are you will continue to do it because you enjoy doing it. That's part of who you love, your self love, self worth. You are worth it and you are enough. Please be mindful that you are enough. So when we're talking about our self-worth and our mental health, you have to have a good support system, or you need to have a good support system. If you don't have one, develop one. Oh, I don't have any friends. Show yourself friendly. If you don't have friends, be a friend to someone. Develop this support system with people who speak positively. Don't get around people who are negative and people who are doing things that you don't want to do. Get friends, be around people who are doing the things you want to do. So if they're doing the things you want to do, get in that group. Develop. Start just generating and getting into this hum around people who are positive, because who you are around the most, it does impact you. It does affect you. So think about that. Think about who you're around. And if you don't like who you're around, get a new surrounding. Never too late. Practice self care is another one that I would want to bring up in regards to mental health. What do you love to do? Whatever that is. If it's reading a book outside by yourself, do it. If it's taking a walk in nature with new headphones, do it. If it's sitting down, vegging out on whatever your best show is or a nice show is, do it. Whatever you love to do, that's practicing self care to you. I mean, one thing I love watching Columbo, and now I found this little show called Vera. She's just like a woman Columbo, but that's something that I like to do. I, I could just sit there and just it's a detox for me. Some people like going through Instagram, social media. I prefer sitting down and watching a show, a criminal episode of Vera, or sitting in the backyard, uh, just enjoying myself. So whatever that is for you, you do it. And don't feel guilty about doing it. Do not feel guilty about self care, because if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. So put yourself first because you're worth it. I want to challenge you. Remember earlier I talked about your thoughts. Challenge or be mindful of what you're thinking about yourself, about your reality, about your goals. Be mindful of how you're thinking about them. So if you're thinking negatively about your reality, I want you to change it. Change how you're thinking about yourself. Okay? Change how you're thinking about your situation. Instead of being negative about it, be positive about it. Find something positive about it. There is something positive about it, about your situation, about your reality. I heard somebody say someone else could take your hand in life and win with it. And you think you're losing, but they could take your hand and win. So there's always a good to look at. And sometimes your support system is going to be the one to bring it out. If you can't bring it out, you got a good support system, they will. You got that friend, that girlfriend, that guy friend who will be like, no, indeed. Why are you sitting there acting like you ain't got nothing going for yourself? And they'll go down the list of why you should be happy, why you should count your blessings. So that's our support system. We all need that. We all need that. There's nothing like it in life. I did this episode on That's Camellia podcast where we talked about what is sister love and sisterhood, and the resounding statement that it goes beyond the bloodline, beyond DNA. But you just need that friend to come right beside you and kind of walk you through some things. So if you don't have any friends, get yourself some friends. Show yourself friendly. Be a friend in order to get friends. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, you might need seeking professional help. You might need professional help, and that is okay. I want to make sure that we don't have this stigma around getting help, mental help if we need it. Get it. Whatever resource we have, multiple avenues of resources available to help us. We pay for benefits. Use them. Why in the world am I going to keep paying for benefits and I don't use them? No, no, indeed. I pay for benefits in order to use them. Please do if you need it. One thing I do is journaling. Journaling is so good to me, it's so relaxing. Um, Journaling takes things out of your head and puts them on paper. So later you can see if what you wrote down in journaling aligns with where you want to go. So you take it out of your mind and you write it down. Journaling to me is also healing. It while we're keeping thoughts rolling around in our head, they change often. Have you had a strange dream and you try to think about what that dream meant, and you tell it, you say it to someone in the morning, and then by the afternoon the dream has changed or the details of the dream have changed? That's why it's important just to write it down. That's why it's important to journal in order to help you. And one way I start the journaling process with is to help them start a gratitude journal. Just write down what you're grateful for. What do you love about yourself? What do you love about your life? Journal about it. And if you keep doing that on a consistent basis daily, and you go back and you read those things, guess what? It starts to improve your self image, your self worth, your self esteem, your confidence. Journaling. Make sure you journal and start with a gratitude journal. Just start writing down the things that you're grateful for. Start there to improve your mental health. All right. Skill development. There's always time and opportunities to upskill, learn a new talent, learn a new activity. I haven't just learned, I'm still learning pickleball. So, picking up a new skill. Pickleball is so much fun and it's so humbling. This little ball, I mean, it's bigger than the tennis ball, so you would think it'll be easier. But pickleball is fun. It's a new activity that me and my family picked up. But whether that's learning a new language, a new activity, a new learning skill, upskill, always learning something new helps your mental health. Okay, helps you feel valued. That's what to me it makes you feel valued. That your worth increases when you're learning. You're continuing this learning process. Okay. Something else I want you to think about is volunteering. Mm, I love volunteering. So that's just one of my heart things to do is volunteering. I grew up with grandmas and moms always sending us to either to nursing homes, to church, to the community to volunteer, give back, food pantries, dog shelters. We're always giving back because there is something, and within volunteering, do you know it can help you find your purpose in life? Mm. You might start volunteering for something that you really like and realize there's a cause aligned with that volunteering. I want to invite you to look within your community, find the need, whether it's at your church, animal shelter, within your home, suburb, wherever, within your community, in your schools, find an activity, find a cause, and volunteer and get involved. getting involved in other people's lives and impacting them, and I like to say, causing a ripple in their lives that outlasts and keeps on going, is so significant and so impactful. And not only does volunteering help the community, it helps you. It helps you because you realize that your time is so valuable. It's the one currency, it's the one thing that we all have the same of. Everyone has 24 hours. No one has 25, 26 hours. Everyone has 24 hours. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do within your day? Who are you going to impact? Who are you going to bless? Who are you going to help? Think about it. And then do something about it before you quickly talk yourself out of it. Volunteering is also, to me, part of mental health because it's a way to give back to someone who might not share the same reality that I do. However, just because we don't have the same reality, that doesn't mean that I can't help and impact you. There's so many stories that I have heard, been a part of, where people have either blessed me or they have blessed others that have drastically impacted their lives and their legacy. And they can't tell their story without sharing this one moment that I had from this one woman or this one man who took the time to cause a ripple in my life. Isn't that so good? I love it. I love it. Because it's not always about us. It starts with us. It starts with us, but it doesn't end with us. Mental health. Think about your self-worth. You're worth it. Even though we have different childhood experiences, even though we grew up in the different parts of the neighborhood, even though we had different parents, and some good, some bad, but even though we've had all of that, we had some of us have had negative self-perceptions of ourselves based on how we grew up, all of that included. Even right now, you can still make a change in your life. Right now, you can still choose you. Like one of my girlfriends says on I Choose Me on her book, you can still choose you and still impact and cause a ripple in other people's lives. Well, what about Camellia? Yeah, that's all fine. I'm not worried about everybody else. I just want me right. Well, guess what? When you get me right, it always impacts other people. It does. So I want you to choose you. Choose an activity, an upskill, a volunteer. Choose it. And I want you to do it. And I want you to journal about it. And when you journal about it, I want you to keep journaling about it. And then at the end of the week or end of the month, I want you to go back and read what you journaled about. And then I want you to repeat it. Does that make sense? Come on. Let's cause a ripple in people's lives. Let's cause a lasting impact. We can do this and we can do it together. Together we can do this. That's all we have for now on That's Camellia podcast. Come on, cause a ripple. Get that support system going. And like we talked about earlier in our grow model, what are your goals? What's your reality? Be for real. What's your reality? What are your options? And what is your way forward? What are those small action steps you can take to get out or to move past your current reality? Think about mental health, not only for you, but all those around you. Think about it. And then do something about it. See you next time. All right, that's all we have for today. Join me next time on That's Camellia podcast, where we're going to continue our conversations. Make it a great day.